Hello, everyone. How are you guys? It's Katie. I don't know why my microphone always acts like this, so I'm going to use my other mic. So if my sound is not as awesome, I apologize. Um, I'm also dealing with a chest cold right now, so bear with me as I clear my throat. It's the cold that literally never leaves. Okay. So I'm going to start referring to Amber as Ambien because she needs sleeping pills or something because she's always up in the middle of the night doing her live streams, and I missed it. Sadly, the one of my subscribers tried to send it to me, and then they recorded it without sound, and then another one of my subscribers finally was able to get it to me just a few minutes ago, and I have some clips. Well, actually, I have part of it that we'll listen to. Most of it was like, remember how like the last time she was live, she was like, you just wait. I'm going to tell you guys what happened. You just wait. I'm going to tell you guys what happened. You know, like she was threatening to like share her side. You know, she was like, I could take a lie detector test, blah, 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 blah. Well, turns out she didn't really say much, you guys. Like not much at all. But so she's like, you know, Leah's great. She sings songs with Leah and she can't sleep, but she can't talk about it. She's doing the best she can, but she can't talk about it, which means that that little threat from the prosecutors worked because she didn't threaten Andrew. She didn't talk about the case at all, meaning what happened in court last week is accurate, that they told her, they highly recommended that she not talk about the case because she could violate her probation order, her probation requirements if she were to get nasty and start threatening people on Instagram Live. But last night, this is what she had to say when people started asking her questions. She was getting a little bit feisty after, you know, her beautiful souls started dwindling and all of the troll people started showing up.
Go on somebody's page and just start saying some really nasty things to them, even if I saw something or heard something. Like, there's no reason for any of that. Like, you're no better than me, especially when you do things like that. Like, honestly, you know, you say all these mean things about me, but then, I mean, what are you though? I mean, you're doing the same exact thing. You're just doing it on a computer or on your phone or something like that. I mean, I don't even want to call you trolls because you guys are people. You guys are people. Like, be a person. Like, don't be an asshole on here for no reason right now. Good.
Okay. Before we get into the really good stuff, I wanted to say she's trying to say that making nasty comments to her is the same as what she has done or is equivalent to how she has acted, which is actually not true. I have always said that if you do engage with this woman on Instagram, that you not be nasty with her and that you not be mean to her. Now, she perceives any sort of like questioning as nasty though. And so it's interesting that she would like project and gaslight that it's actually you guys that are just as bad as her, because I'm sure you guys were running down a hallway with a machete threatening to stab your boyfriend, right?
You, honey. Like, get a fucking cookie out of the cookie jar and enjoy it. Like, you fucking basic woman. Like, go away. Like, I really don't care. There's no need for any of the bullshit. And it's so like, you guys keep contradicting yourself, though, with what you're saying. Because you'll say one thing going against me and trying to be rude. And it's more than rude, actually. It's fucking disgusting. But if I say anything back, I'm a horrible person. And it's honestly just, it makes no sense. Like, you guys are people. You guys are not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody said I was a fucking victim. Why do people keep saying I never said I was a victim? Shut up. I never once said I was a fucking victim. Like, honestly, I don't know where that even got started. Like, and you know what's sad about that? That came from somebody, and then somebody else started saying it, and then somebody else started saying it, and then somebody else started saying it, which is so insane, which means you're just like following and following. You're just followers. Be a fucking leader. How about that?
Okay, so she says she's not a victim, you guys, and that this idea that she is a victim, or she never said she was a victim. But since her arrest in July, she has accused Andrew of domestic violence, of hiring prostitutes, of stealing money from her, extorting her. She has been, without saying it, claiming to be a victim the entire time. So while she is telling you she is not a victim, it's actually not true because she had implied it numerous times. In fact, her brother Sean tweeted multiple times that, Andrew isn't. You'll learn. You'll see that Andrew was like that too. You'll see that that the abuse went both ways. You'll see. Except that didn't happen. That wasn't true. She accused Matt of throwing her downstairs. However, she also accused Gary of that, and I'm sure she accused Andrew of that. So she's always the victim, always. So she wants you to say that she's not the victim, but she is. I mean, that's what she does, and she uses her mental illness also as a way to play the victim and not take responsibility for what she's done, in my opinion.
Would you walk a mile in my shoes? Be a fucking leader for once in your life. When I keep following other people and talking about being a victim, I never said I was a victim of anything. Does it look like I'm a fucking victim? Like, stop. I don't have to do anything for you guys. I'm sorry. It's not for you. I come on here to tell my fans I'm doing okay and I'm all right. I'm having a hard night. And you guys take the vulnerability and you use it to your fucking advantage, which is really disgusting. Okay? That's on you. You're just jackass. You're doing it by sharing your life. Yeah, I share everything. I don't care. It's starting to get to the point where I'm going to have to start to stand my ground because I've been letting people slide a lot. I'm not going to keep on letting people just slide with being so ignorant about things. This is the first time I started talking to the haters, so don't come at me like that either. Like, literally every other thing has been to my fans, for my fans, like every other time I go on Instagram. It's probably, I feel the same way. I'm sick of blocking people. I've been blocking way too many people lately. How the fuck would you know? I'm not gonna say your name because you're pathetic for even saying that. Do some fucking homework. You know what, bitch? I'm done with you. How about that? There you go. You're out. I'm done with you. I don't need you to point anything out. I live it, you jackass. You sound like a fucking idiot. Like, what are you talking about? You don't think that I know? Like, what the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up. We aren't haters for pointing out what you're doing wrong. Like, who the fuck are you? Nobody. I'm of sound and of mind. I understand what I do. Like, stop fucking saying dumb shit to me like you're a therapist. You're not a fucking therapist. I have a therapist and I have a psychiatrist. Believe me, I'm fully aware of myself. Fully fucking aware. To only a couple of things. What are you talking about? Yeah. Oh God, I can't even talk about it. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? I would go to drugs and violence and people flashing guns. I go fuck around with somebody else. There's way bigger first days. Love you too.
All right, so then she's just like done but the thing that I think here is interesting, you guys, is that she actually, like, if you can see the comments on there, 90% of the comments are super positive, really and truly. Like, she has the most delusional fans in the entire world that think that she does no wrong. I mean, these are the same fans that messaged me yesterday. I got a message in my Facebook from one of her fans, and the fan told me that I should leave Amber alone because who cares if Amber threatened to stab someone in the neck? The fan said, I always threaten my husband and say I'm going to stab my husband in the neck. Who cares? I mean, thank God I'm not famous and don't have someone like you digging around in my life. I mean, this is sort of the level of sort of delusion that not only she, I believe, is experiencing, but also some of her fans. And when I got that message, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're justifying your behavior and you're putting that against what Amber has done, and you're saying that is normal because you do it, Amber does it, so it's fine. But it's not. In no world is that okay. And 90% of the comments there were actually supportive. And there were, I mean, yeah, there were some nasty comments, but there was a lot of questions. People saying, when are you going to tell us what happened? Why are you, like, trying to hold her accountable almost? And she goes off and says, like, who are you? Who are you to tell me that? Who are you to know that I'm not accountable? Well, we know from court from last week, from sources that were in the courtroom that I spoke to, that she was defiant with the judge, arguing about the time with her son, arguing about aspects of her charges, and did not, after Andrew gave that such an emotional statement about the impact on him and on James, she didn't apologize. And it's clear that she hasn't apologized. And it's clear with her behavior that she hasn't processed or isn't processing the magnitude of this or doesn't care. And it's hard to know what is going on here. Is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it mental illness? Is it narcissism? Is it borderline personality disorder? What, is she just a jerk? I mean, something is going on here where she's not processing, and she's going online because she is probably incredibly isolated and alone and doesn't have a lot of people in her life right now, and has always been able to go online and get the support and the love that she needs. And right now, people are over it. They don't want to hear about it. And I've said this so many times that I don't hate Amber, and I don't think most of you hate Amber. I think most people can hate behavior but not hate the person. And I think most of us have a heart for forgiveness. And most of us want to see her say, we're sorry. And if we just saw her say she was sorry and she took the steps she needed to take and she acknowledged what she's done and took accountability and responsibility for the 2 children now that are being raised without her, you know, many of us would feel better. And when you're going online and you have people coming at you, it can be hard. I mean, God, you guys, I have a much smaller platform than her, but I get nasty comments all the time. And sometimes you do pop off and sometimes you do react. But most of the time when you're doing that, most rational people are not calling people that are taking the time out of their day to watch what you're doing names, right? And this is why I think that, 2 things I'm seeing here. She's sticking to her no contact order by not talking about the case. So that's good, you guys. That is a good step. She said she couldn't talk about it. You heard her say, I couldn't talk about it. I can't answer that. She only talked about Leah. Part of her custody agreement is that she is not to talk about James or post photos about him on social media. So she's sticking to that. But there's also these other aspects where she's consistently looking sort of dazed, kind of out of it, making us wonder what's going on with her in her mind. Is it mania? Is she on medications? And medications that she's prescribed by a doctor wouldn't go against what's going on with her probation. So part of what we're doing here with her probation requirements is that she has to go through a full psychological evaluation and treatment, and has to do this through like a court ordered, that whole ordered stuff, right? And substance abuse. And my hope is that through that process, she can get a right psychological evaluation to figure out what is actually going on. And if she doesn't have the diagnoses that she thinks she has, that they get her off some of these meds that she's on. Because Andrew on Instagram was talking about how she's on benzos, like Klonopin. And Klonopin can make people monstrous. It can make people agitated. It can make people angry. And if she's abusing Klonopin or using Klonopin as prescribed by a doctor, that could be contributing to some of these issues. So I really hope that through this process, she takes this time to actually take care of herself and get off some of these meds, because I feel like some of this behavior could definitely be attributed to maybe addiction. It's hard to know though. Is she just mean? Is she an addict? Is it mental illness? Is she just a narcissist? Is she just, what is it and why? And why is it that she can't take accountability? That's my other question. Why can't she ever say sorry? And I would hope that in the future, that when you are interacting with her, that you continue to be kind. She'll probably block you if you ask questions about what she's doing or why she's doing it. But this is a woman that is definitely down. She doesn't need anyone else kicking her. But we should be mindful of the fact that she has a massive platform right now. And it's okay for people to remind her that accountability matters, that remorse matters, and that, acting appropriately and treating your spouse and your children accordingly is expected in society. And we can still be frustrated with MTV that they took no action or steps to terminate her, even though she pled guilty to 2 felonies. There's a lot. There's 2.5 years of this that we have to get through. And I don't know, given what happened the last time, how well this is going to move on. This is going to move forward. But, I think the biggest thing that she misses is that people don't hate her. They don't. And Amber, I know you see these shows because you're always talking about me. I just hope you know that none of this comes from a place of harm. It comes from a place of love. And that if you do care about your fans and all of the people that have invested damn near a decade in your life, that you would listen to those people when they tell you they're concerned. That you would listen to your ex-spouse or ex-boyfriend, Andrew, when he tells you that he was abused, and that you understand that even with a mental illness, abuse is never okay, and it's never okay to threaten or put your hands on someone you love. I hope during this probation period, she takes the time to learn skills necessary to manage her anger. I am holding my breath that this works out, but I will not be surprised if the probation is revoked. All right, you guys, I'll be back later. If you have anything that you'd like me to cover, make sure you leave them in the comments below and let me know what your thoughts are about this. And since so many of you are online right now, make sure, if you have not yet, follow me on Instagram, as I'm getting better at posting things as they're happening in real time. So if you want to catch up and get some tea before I go live, make sure that you check me out on Instagram at Without a Crystal Ball. All right, you guys, I'll be back later. Thank you so much. And so many of you in chat, over 1,000, 1,100. Damn, let's go.